Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Top Shelf Nerds, the show for nerds, by nerds, about nerds. I am DJ, and with me today is Buck and the Professor. This week we're trying a new format, so stick with us, and we'll be talking about the games we're currently playing. So, how's it been, chaps?
It was a lot better before you came along. I said it was better before you came along.
Oh, can you believe it? Episode 25, guys.
No, you do a thing for 25 weeks and you get to episode 25. Basic causality.
Oh man, this is. I wish we did something better. Maybe we could do something better.
I was just keeping, and that's the interview.
Alright, so the first topic, is yours, Professor.
Yes. My first topic is a god-awful small affair. There's a ground-penetrating radar has identified a liquid lake under the Martian ice cap.
Can I just say I'm giving you a round of applause that you didn't call it water like every.
Yeah.
I'm getting sick and tired of everyone going, oh, we found water on Mars.
And at best, it's going to be extremely salty water because it's liquid in a bloody ice cap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's also about 20 kilometers. The lake is about 20 kilometers wide and no more than a meter deep.
Yeah, it's a very, very skinny lake. Been on Jenny Craig a bit too long.
Well, although I have to say, there are actually lots of lakes like that in Australia and other areas of the world where they're not actually very deep for a vast majority of it. Like Lake Illawarra, for example, down in New South Wales.
Yep.
Large tracts of that are no more than a meter deep.
And the salt lakes that we have here, when they are flooded, they are only a meter deep.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of the lakes in South America where they're seasonal, so most of the time they're not even a foot deep, let alone a meter. Yeah, not all that unusual, but yeah, it's nice to see that they're still looking at Mars finding.
Yeah. And it will be interesting if they can get to Mars and see if there's any extremophiles living there. Although I don't know how exactly you would sterilize a Mars rover well enough that you could drill into the lake and take samples without contaminating it.
Although the atmosphere is clear enough and the gravitation will be low enough that if when you drill, wouldn't some of that water
Yeah.
not necessarily float, but if you drill the hole to a certain point.
Yeah, imagine if you broke into the liquid layer, you could get an upwelling.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the name where it goes up like a straw and it forces it.
Capillary action? Yeah, it could be a capillary action if the hole's small enough, or even if it's just under pressure, like oil wells.
Yeah, but I was also thinking with the atmosphere and the gravitational field. If the gravitational field's low enough and it's under pressure and all that as well, so you could have a slow forming geyser and then just capture it quickly.
That would be pretty cool.
The DJ's gone quiet. Did you mute him?
No. I'm just.
Once I didn't.
I'm just reading it through here. It's very interesting how they said it's a breakthrough 15 years in the making, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing with a lot of science, interplanetary science, especially if you've got to wait for new hardware to get out there.
Well, pretty much all science, when they have the breakthrough, there's always the years and years.
You want to make sure that you actually know what you're talking about, because if you screw up, the rest of the science won't let you forget it.
Oh yeah, having done my Bachelor of Behavioural Science, I completely understand that. But all the groundwork in developing all the research and everything like that, even when you do actually find something, it's going to be years before you release that data, because you got to have it all confirmed, all the analyzed and everything like that.
And then repeat your findings if just to be sure.
Yeah, well, that's with all the analyzing and so forth. It's got to be replicable and everything. So
My question is though, will this validate the fact that we can live in Mars in the near future?
No, because there's no reason based on the science that we had up until last week when they confirmed the discovery of this lake. There was no reason we couldn't have already terraformed Mars.
plus
You just build a base on a glacier, scoop up some ice and melt it down. And even if they did drill through, this is most likely salt water. It's -10 degrees Celsius, the civilized measurement.
there was the terraforming process that was suggested by someone a while ago with shooting nuclear missiles. Could also help terraform it, but to generate an atmosphere.
If there is any sort of extremophile life form on Mars, we shoot it with a nuclear missile, we cause it to mutate, and we've just created a horror movie.
Thank you, Starship Troopers.
We're already living with one here. We're living a horror movie day to day. Like us personally, we got the deep. The rest of the world, they got Kim Jong Un and Donald Trump. Like, yeah, I can't see how we could be much worse of a horror movie with those idiots with their thumbs on killer missiles. And Iran has apparently started shaking the shield, saying they want to be taking over America or something.
Oh, luckily that was a bit of media hype. The full quote was along the lines of, peace with Iran will be the mother of peace. War with Iran will be the mother of all war. And the media just jumped on the mother of all war bit and were like, oh no, Iran wants to kill everyone.
Yeah. Honestly, I reckon if it went to all-out war, I don't think Iran would last that long.
No.
After all the bits and pieces that have gone on, I reckon the large tracks in car park wouldn't be strategic bombing. A lot of the world would just go, yep, we need a car park in the Middle East.
Let's turn the whole planet into a car park. Like in that Crash Bandicoot racing game. The plot was that if the Crash Bandicoot characters couldn't beat the alien invader in a race, he would turn the entire planet into a car park.
Okay, so that's what happened. We lost the race. Because when you drive around a lot of cities, it's getting to be more and more, it's just getting overwhelmed with car parks.
Yeah, car parks to support the ridiculous high-density apartment buildings.
Oh, well, it's only a matter of time before the world goes into ashes.
Yep, which is why I'm planning on being not on the planet when that happens. I'm gonna suck up very hard to Elon and Jeff Bezos and Boeing and everyone who has spaceships, because I don't want to be here when that happens.
Yeah, at the moment, I think you and I are the two with the greatest chance of avoiding that situation. Sorry, DJ, but you're not really being able to offer much skill for them to take you with them off the planet.
Well, I plan to just hide under my nuclear bunker, and wait it out. Maybe I might be
time. Your cardboard box is not a nuclear bunker,
and neither is your blanket fort.
Oh, don't worry, I can survive.
Yeah. Him and the cockroaches.
Mm-hmm.
Although there's a bit of an cockroach.
Well, the cockroaches and I have one thing in common: we're somewhat sentient.
If you leave cockroaches alone for long enough, they will evolve into a children's band.
You're starting to confuse. You're going to have to explain it.
The Wiggles were a band called the Cockroaches before they were the Wiggles.
Yeah, I know. I just wasn't sure whether the DJ actually...
I'm
old enough, I actually remember when they actually had big hit in the top...
Wow.
Anyway,
I know people who went to university with them in Wollongong.
Anyways, guys, shall we move on?
I don't know who's leading the show tonight.
That'll be me.
We'd be waiting for you to move it on. That's the reason why we're talking about everything else.
Every week. If he's not hosting, he tries to push things along. If he is hosting, he doesn't host.
Hey, I don't want to be rude, so that's why. But
Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. You're always being rude. Yeah, rude bugger.
Anyways, moving on.
You're at the wrong end of the football field. Go back to the other end of the football field. You're peeking your mic again.
Anyways, guys, so moving on though. Microsoft has recently announced its new controller, and the bright side to this, it benefits disabled people.
You mean the controller they announced several months ago?
Well, this is the official line. that they announced several. Yeah, and you're right, they did announce it several months ago.
Yep. So
Yeah.
what's the details?
So the details for this one is that this controller was made with Microsoft, along with other charities that specialize in disabled gamers, in helping disabled gamers, such as the Able Gamers charity, the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, Craig Hospital, Special Effect, and Warfighter Engaged. This was devised to meet their needs, and it acts as a hub for third-party accessibility devices.
Wah. You failed.
Uh,
Sorry, you're reading the article again.
No, I'm not. I've
not?
made this whole thing. I've written this whole thing out.
Honestly, he actually has gone and tried to summarize it, because as he was speaking, I was searching for phrases
Okay.
in the article, and he didn't quote word for word.
I apologize. I could tell that you were reading something from somewhere. Sorry.
But,
it was just there.
But anyways, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by some. Anyways, so this is the company's first official first party controller for people with limited mobility. So this is a pretty good achievement.
Yeah, looking at some of the pictures here, one of the groundbreaking pieces with this is the method of interaction, and part of that is due to the actual dramatic increase in size.
Yeah.
Where it's about 4 times the size of an Xbox One controller, which is already about the size of a cat's head. So yeah, it's going to be quite good.
One thing I haven't been able to work out yet, those I can't see it, haven't seen it in any articles I've read. Are those big black discs? Are they thumbstick replicas? Whatever.
From what I've gathered is here,
because they look to me like, if they're not for like DJing and dropping sick beats and whatever, they must be big sort of thumbstick devices. But then there's not enough buttons on the controller, so obviously the controller isn't standalone. It's got a bunch of ports in the back where you connect other devices.
Oh yeah.
It's saying here it offers ports into which you can plug other switches and buttons, pressure tubes, etc., which not every disabled person is able to use their hands. So you'll have some of them using straws and so forth, so for breath control. I think that they may actually be not so much a stick, but more of a pressure pad, so that they can move their hand across and just activate it that way.
Yeah. From what I've gathered,
just found something. 2 big circular black buttons. So they don't seem to be thumbsticks.
No, they're just flat. I'm actually looking at a picture of it sitting up against an Xbox One. It's almost the same size, almost the same length, and over half the width. And it is only just raised up a little bit. So
yeah.
From what I've gathered about this one is that the adaptive controller's core is using the Microsoft Copilot tech, which allows a person to use 2 Xbox controllers simultaneously. And so one can use the Xbox controller, and the adaptive controller as a supplement for the triggers, maybe.
And yet I still can't change what player number my controller plugged into my PC is.
That's gonna stink.
You didn't drop one, did you?
Nah. What else is it? What other specific details?
I just love reading through that every item in this article. They go into detail about why it's important for disabled people.
Yeah.
And my sister's disabled, and she has trouble playing with the controller sometimes. She has cerebral palsy, so not bad enough that she needs something like this for most games. But I can understand where they're coming from with all of the little design elements.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's another beautiful part about this? Even though once it's pre-ordered, you can pre-order it for $100. The beautiful part about this as well is the packaging. As I recently found out that if I'll post the link up, the packaging for it is there's no ropes or zip ties attached to this. So all you need is just pull off a switch, and the box automatically dismantles itself, and you can get the controller. so you don't need to bite down the packet or anything like that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So hang on a second. This idea came. Microsoft also developed that idea because they were saying like a lot of these limited mobility gamers are actually used to opening packages with their teeth.
And so the
one of the amazing things. One of the amazing things on this though is Microsoft has actually focused on making it so that it is a easily customizable controller, and whatever device you plug it into, just going to see it as another controller.
Yeah, no, just remember what I was thinking. $100. That's literally unheard of for assistive tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how much does it cost for a wheelchair these days?
No idea, but even like computer hardware.
Anywhere from $3,500 through to $55,000 for a wheelchair, depending on how intense you want to go.
So you were saying, Buck, the price of a wheelchair goes from $3K to
$3,500 through to $55,000.
Jeez.
There's wheelchair you can get from a company in England, and there's another one doing something similar in America, where it actually straps around the legs and the body, so you can actually have the person standing upright and being supported by the chair.
Yeah.
So like you're just limited by how much you got to spend on what's. But yeah, it's the cheapest one I've seen at the moment is $3,500, and then you've got to put.
Yeah.
You were gonna say something, Professor?
Yeah, the pricing of this as $100 controller is just insane because ergonomic keyboards and keyboards designed for people with disabilities are ridiculously priced, like anywhere up to over $1,000.
Mm-hmm. Although I have to say, Microsoft is actually becoming a world leader with regards to disability and inclusivity. They actually have a hiring policy aimed at improving neurodiversity in their workplace. So they're actually actively seeking to employ people who are autistic, bipolar, whatever, and changing the interview process and actually having an environment that actually encourages that sort of situation, because the opportunity is amazing when you start to get people with a different way of thinking involved. And then, yeah, they've been supporting a lot of the research for software for a lot of gadgets, I've noticed, and some stuff I've been reading lately as well.
Yeah.
So they're partnering up to help make the world a better place.
Yeah. Speaking of hiring people with disabilities in regards to Microsoft, this whole thing was actually developed by a Microsoft employee, interestingly enough.
Yeah. Do you know, was it some sort of like one of their free time projects? I know companies like Google have like 90% of your work week is dedicated to whatever your manager tells you. Then you get 10% to work on projects that you've come up with or something along those lines.
Jenny LaFleury is actually heading up Microsoft's accessibility efforts. So they've actually got a department that's actually working towards it.
Cool.
The guy's name, for those who are interested, is his name is Solomon Romney. He's the guy behind the inspiration behind the Xbox adaptive controller. And he's the learning specialist with Microsoft.
And Jenny LaFleury is actually his boss.
Yeah.
Who's been helping to say he's working as part of it. So yeah, looking further down in the article, Microsoft is interested in helping with, especially, here we go, the Cerebral Palsy Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they've got a lot. As I was saying, they've been focusing in a lot with different things, and I've come across some of the bits and some of the like the neurodiversity stuff with some of my studies and so forth. So
yeah.
And do you know, are these devices easy to have they announced if they'll be hackable? I know you can connect pretty much any device with a 3.5mm jack to them, but can you write custom drivers and stuff?
I'm not sure. Well, what I've said from here, it's from what I've gathered, they said that the key is the rear of the device, a row of 3.5mm ports, 19 of them in total, plus a USB port. It does support third-party peripherals such as common adapter switches.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is, can I take one of these devices designed for gaming and mod it so that someone can use it in day-to-day office work?
I don't know. That would be interesting to see someone hack it.
They have said that they want it to be fully customizable. And yeah, it's just looking through some of the bits and pieces here. It's on a rechargeable battery. I'm guessing that there will be options with how you can operate the buttons, and if with different things you connect to it, when you actually set it up, you'll have the customizable control aspects. So I'm pretty sure that if you connect it to another device for use in an office, you could probably customize it and set that up. I've seen someone actually using a what's the name, tablet in an office where they've only got one hand.
Yeah.
And all the software had been customized, and that actually helped to customize a lot of other software. And they had another person had a joystick controller that was taken off of a GameSmith, so that the two joysticks off of a PS4 controller, I think it was, because of the way they're situated, was more suitable for someone who could only had a couple of fingers to use, and they could actually operate bits and pieces with that and the button at the front of it. So, yeah, you might have to sit down and write a lot of coding yourself, but they're trying to make it so that I think they're opening it up so that you can do that.
I hope they do, because for the price, this is looking like a great piece of tech. And I've just started working as an IT guy at a company that specializes in working with disabled people. So I'm starting to really get to know what some of these sorts of things are, and I'm excited to see what they can do with this.
Yeah, I think this will be a great step for Microsoft in the end, because with all with gaming industries, with the demographics of gamers growing and growing, they've got to work extra harder now to fit.
Remember the 90s when everyone hated Microsoft and thought they were evil?
I have to say, I didn't. I always referred to Uncle Bill as Uncle Bill. I've always loved Microsoft.
Was it 2008, 2000s? It's now Apple. It's evil now.
I always had it.
The only reason Apple gets away with it is because there's no S's to turn into dollar signs.
But
Although New York doesn't like them because they keep trying. They actually tried an advertising campaign at one point where they said, "Come and join us with the Big Apple."
Oh, that would
New York actually sued them. It's quite successfully.
Wow.
Well, hey, you never mess with New York.
No one messes with New York
except Chicago.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at all the bits and pieces on this, and I think with what you were saying, Professor, that it does, because Microsoft, they're saying here that it's a device that, as I said, it's easily customizable. The buttons on there are super sensitive on the edges for directional control. So with the 19 adaptive plug, and if you're going to do anything, you could probably just contact them. Hey, looking at this, is there anything you can offer us? Any suggestions for the help? And they'll probably actually sit there and go, hey, look, that's a great idea. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know where you go. And if you have any trouble, hit us up and I'll work with you and probably help.
Yeah.
We should do a review of this controller when it comes out.
Do you have $100 to spend on a controller that you're only going to use once?
Actually, he's got to buy next.
If they said I assumed it would work with a PC because a standard Xbox controller does.
Let's see if you buy it.
I heard that. But no, I also want to say it's not only the controller I'm also interested in. I'm also interested in the packaging, because as I said earlier, that looks really cool.
The DJ is the kind of guy who gets more fun out of tearing open his birthday presents than actually.
Hey, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Don't you ever watch those unboxing videos and go like, "Oh, that looks really cool"?
Nope.
No. But still, I like to see this controller in action. Yeah. I want to see this. I want to see more of this controller. Like, maybe we could do a review of it sometime. Maybe we could see a live stream of it. Hopefully soon. Probably
not us, but someone will definitely review it.
Yeah. Also, anyways, moving along. Buck, you've got something about Fallout.
I do.
Yeah,
in the form of
a Tom Cruise movie.
Oh no, Tom Cruise, no. I don't want to talk about Tom Cruise. Oh,
you just said his name more than I did.
Interesting fact is I actually provided you. I provided you, and the professor provided you an extra link. Still only got.
This is what happens when we let the DJ write the show notes.
Alright, give us that.
Alrighty. Okay, for all those who enjoy cooking and also enjoy we've got the Fallout 76 cookbook, or the Vault Dwellers official, which is actually available on Amazon at the point. The price is $22.50. I'm guessing that's US. In a hardcover, available October 23, 2000.
It's a good-looking book.
Yeah.
Got some interesting recipes, like mostly just standardized sort of stuff, but the lady who is responsible for it is
Victoria Rosenfeld.
That's it. I know I had someone else here. Yep. Is an epic nerd who loves gaming, experimenting in the kitchen, and works designing graphics for NASA. And looking through some of the actual recipe stuff, they've got Dirty Wastelander, the Daddy-O, the Nuka Bomb Drop, some of the drinks. Here's one for the DJ. Lady Palmer's Sweet Roll as a dessert.
Oh, nice.
Dandy Boy Apples, Mississippi Quantum Pie. Most of it, as I said, looks like it's going to be just fancied, changed around names on some fairly ordinary sorts of recipes, maybe with a few quirks and so forth. But yeah, they got the beef and vegetable roast soup, which has been changed to Brahmin because
it's definitely looks like most recipes are just real world stuff with a few small changes and find replace beef Brahmin.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I'm kind of excited for it.
And the fact that she's actually got a blog.
Yes, my favorite part.
She's got a whole lot of things that she's been doing. It's not like it's a new thing. Turn around going, I'm going to release a cookbook because I like games. She's got lots of pretty cool sorts of stuff. There's an Overwatch League London Spitfire popsicle.
Looks so nice.
As her blog is Pixelated Provisions.
So yes, Dark Souls 3 Victory Brew. So yeah, there's lots of interesting recipes here with some cool names and all that sort of stuff. And it's a fellow nerd who's having fun and doing something pretty cool.
And it's not like she's just like we said, she's not just some hack who's been hired to do it. She actually plays these games and gets into the lore and writes a little article about each meal she designs.
And I have to say, I'm loving this topic because so far the DJ entire time, except for a little.
Yeah, I'm drooling at it. I'm looking at, for example, the Victory Brew, and she's written something really. She's written a really nice background to this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that's literally what I just said. But this Goron spiced meat skewers from Breath of the Wild making me hungry, and I just ate dinner before we recorded.
And then she's got some pretty cool things there for Overwatch. You can actually go through and look for things for recipes by game. So there's Battle Chef, Binding of Isaac, Blade and Soul, Bloodborne.
Golf Story by a Brisbane developer, I believe.
Is it? Oh, I haven't got that far down. No, too busy looking at some of the others. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto, Chicken Wings, Final Fantasy Fallout series.
She's even got Teriyaki, Final Fantasy XV Nebula salmon bites. Oh, that that looks beautiful. I need to buy some salmon now.
There's Overwatch. I'm gonna have to sit down and actually do some of these things.
Yeah. And it's so much better than the generic cocktails they served at the the old one, the Manor Bar. Where it's like, this is a gaming themed bar, and they literally serve other cocktails. Just they stick some gaming name on the front of it.
And the fact is that it's not just cocktails; it's also like there's actual meals, like entrees, mains, and desserts, and all that sort of stuff. There's the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. They've got a section here where there's an apple pie, a cheese souffle,
a recipe for the 500 cheese wheels you're carrying around.
Yeah, well, that's it. Then there's also for The Sims and The Witcher, Wolfenstein Strawberry Milkshake, and Turkey Dinner.
Wait, there's a Pac-Man meal?
Yep. I'm kind of disappointed it's not like Sago.
Oh, here we go. There's even a Pokemon section.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Tamago Sushi, Village Sub Combo.
Okay. Wonder if there's one for Mortal Kombat.
And she has an adorable little corgi type thing.
There's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. The pizza. I wonder what type of pizza they put in there. It's a regular.
Yeah, for all those looking at finding a gift for Christmas for your gaming enthusiast. You want to step it outside the usual parameters of what they'll be expecting. Here's something to look for. If anyone wants to buy one of these for me for Christmas, I'd sit there and look at it and go, heck yeah.
How much is the book?
It's $22.50.
So,
It's only in hardcover at the moment. So.
And that's about 20 times more than the DJ has in savings, so he's not buying it for you.
Oh, never say never, Professor. Never say never.
A great Bond movie.
Not the sequel, though. Never say never again.
I know that's his theme song at the end.
And then there was the shitty Justin Bieber remake.
Oh no, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Oh, let's not go there.
And
Let's
anything
just
with Justin.
Yeah.
Let-
Quick,
let-
DJ, save us. Bring up something else.
So yeah, let's go to the next section of the games we played this week. So, Professor, you played Octopath Traveler, you said earlier on.
Yep. I pre-ordered it. I've been playing it since it came out, getting a couple of hours in a day. Completely addicted.
Give us a brief story of it, of
Well,
the game.
I'm only partway through. I'm not sure how long the game is going to be entirely, but it took me about 12 hours to unlock all 8 characters. And instead of having a standard story where you start off with one or two characters and then explore and find the rest of your party, you get to pick from one of the 8 characters and then travel around and meet everyone else. And so far, there's no real, like, we've got to save the world overarching plot like you get in Final Fantasy. It's just different people going about their lives and having different goals. So my main character, the scholar, his plot is about finding a book thief and tracking down antique books that have gone missing. Then there's, say, a dancer who is out to get revenge on the people who killed her dad. And you could theoretically complete someone's entire story, as far as I know, with just that one character. But it does encourage you to meet other people because of the way the game is balanced.
So, what do you like about this game so far?
It's got absolutely gorgeous graphics. The music's pretty good, but the battle system, I haven't played a turn-based JRPG in quite a long time, but the battle system feels really solid, and I like the vulnerability system. When you fight an enemy, you try different weapons on it for the first few rounds, and although you do know if you run into it again what works on it, and you have to, if you beat it up a few times, you stun it and then can do more damage. So it encourages you to have a diverse team, and there's no one strategy that's OP for the whole game.
Yeah,
Sounds cool.
yeah. Not to this is Square Enix, by the way. So,
No, I don't believe it is.
a second.
People who made Bravely Default.
Developer is Square Enix.
Okay.
Yeah, and the publisher is Nintendo and Square Enix.
Yes. Square Enix and Acquire.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks really. I'm liking the cover, the packaging artwork. It looks really cool.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of that art style in the game except in menus and stuff.
Yeah,
But the main game has, they call it HD 2D, and you've sort of got to see it in action to really get the full effect because of the way you move, the way you move around, and the sunlight glints off the water, or the trees rustle gently, and all the shadows and stuff are stunning.
graphics wise, this I'm looking at a picture of a screenshot of it, and it reminds me of old school Final Fantasy VII.
Well, it's nothing like Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, no, it's not. I meant the whole like 2D, the little sprite character with the 3D background.
Final Fantasy VII was completely different. Final Fantasy was 3D characters on a painted background.
That's I
You're
meant as
thinking of the older Final Fantasy games, which are actually 16-bit.
yeah.
I was actually thinking there was another game that this reminds me of, kind of like similar to Golden Axe, but the old original Diablo is how some of the screenshots are looking like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a bit of a sucker for that 16-bit art style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. as long as it's done well, it's always
Yeah.
going to look good. So, and I'm looking at this, and yeah, the graphics are looking.
And it's it's a very expressive art style in terms of the characters. You can give them a lot of facial detail.
This is this is with a good game like this. This makes the Nintendo Switch equally rivaling the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One
As if it wasn't already doing that with Mario and Zelda
and the Smash Brothers.
when that comes out. Yes.
Yeah, but with Mario and Zelda, like, but before Zelda came out, people were like, Nintendo Switch, and not many people would play it. But then when Zelda came out, like, okay, we're gonna play this. This is a very good game.
Okay.
I don't know what rock you were living under.
Okay. What are your criticisms to the game?
Don't know if I have any really. So I just checked. Breath of the Wild was a launch title, so no one was like, "Nah, I won't get a Switch" before they saw Breath of the Wild because it was a launch title. There was no way to not be able to get it on day one.
Okay.
But anyway, I suppose the story is a little bit inconsistent between some characters. Some of the characters are quite light-hearted, but then there's the dancer who incredibly dark compared to the other stories so far. Her best friend's murdered, and she's basically forced into prostitution as part of her quest to find the people who killed her dad.
The DJ who's going.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that in a dirty way. I'm thinking he's looking at the graphics and he's wanting to go play this.
Yeah.
Not everything about the DJ is actually no.
Oh, let's not venture into you both. Oh, it'd just be bad. Anyways, Buck, you've been playing a couple of games this week.
Yeah. Just going a little bit old school. Turned around and went through the process of looking at some games that I've been wanting to get for a while. So I went in and picked up Assassin's Creed. Okay, just looked at the show notes here, and you said Origins. No, I haven't been playing Origins.
Ah, my bad.
I was playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Okay, my mistake.
But also Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is pretty cool. So
which one's better? Which one was better? Those two.
They're both actually really, really good. Both there's actually a lot of similarity now between Assassin's Creed and Tomb Raider, the stealth attacks, that sort of stuff. They just need to get their melee attacks up a bit more. But yeah, I like the fact that they've introduced using the bow and so forth the way they have, and different weapons, increasing the ability of the weapons, all that sort of stuff. Whereas the original Tomb Raider from back 20 years ago with the original PlayStation and so forth, you only had.
So tell me briefly about the what's Rise of the Tomb Raider about.
Lara Croft, some information about immortality and the divine source, and trying to vindicate her father while taking on Trinity.
Cool.
The game's been around for a few years, so it's not like it's a new game.
Yeah, I think that one came out in 2016.
Yeah.
One of the main things I like is they've got optional tombs to go and do for bonus prizes and skills and stuff like that. So yeah.
And Syndicate, well, just tell me a little bit about that one.
A little bit about Syndicate.
Yeah, like this plot and stuff.
Well, it's an Assassin's Creed franchise, and it's two twins. It's you got a brother and sister, and they're running around London and taking on the Templar.
Oh, nice.
And you have all the, from what I've seen.
A little bit, but yeah, it's you have to build up your network of spies, and you build up gangs. You got to take over different sections. The same as with all the others, you got to go and slowly take control of the city and Templars, battle bosses. But in this, you get to train.
Yeah. So as I said to the professor, so you said you liked the two games because they had similarities of like stealth kills and the combat systems. What else?
Just fun to play.
Yeah. What are your biggest criticisms to those two games?
The fact I've actually got to stop playing them and got to stuff.
I mean, gameplay wise, or like.
No, they're both pretty good. Like as I said, like the melee combat in Tomb Raider needs a little bit, but yeah, getting there to starting off into a better direction than what it used to be.
Yeah, because Assassin's Creed, because Tomb Raider, it's bit. They were trying to. I remember the direction they were taking is a bit darker. They were trying to get to with the Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I'm remembering back with the original Tomb Raiders, they were always pretty dark. Like you had beasties that were chasing you around that flesh was bone. If you
Metal.
Pardon?
Metal.
Oh no, some of them were bone. So, but yeah, you got you had the pit traps and all that sort of stuff, and swinging logs and everything back in the day. And this is bringing up similar sorts of traps that you got to be aware of and react to. Although there's less of the jump combo for bouncing off of platforms to get up to extra different areas and so forth. But yeah, no, there's still the puzzle you got to work your way through to how do I trigger this mechanism there and all stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Finally for me,
Just one thing. Do you think there's enough puzzles in the new Tomb Raider?
In some areas, yes, because it was never just purely the puzzles. It's the combination.
Okay.
So you got the running around, shooting, plus you got puzzles. Some of the puzzles could be a little bit more complicated, but then again, I grew up playing all this, so it's not, I'm looking at it and I'm remembering how a lot of the puzzle stuff works, and so it's not really all that much of a challenge in some ways. But yeah, no, there's little puzzles here and there that you have to sit there and really sit there and think and look at extra things around you. So like in this, because you got the bow, you shoot what they call a rope arrow. So in one particular area, you have to trigger a couple of things to try and block some water to burn a barricade to get through into an extra area in the tomb. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure it out for a little while. Then I noticed it was an extra tie-off point, so I could actually launch something out into the one position, shoot it with the rope arrow, and tie it off on this point, and then trigger so something collapse across and block the flow of water so I could burn the barricade. So yeah, it's not all the solutions are just automatically visible. Some of them you have to trigger certain things and then trigger other things to make the first part happen. And you have to go back into the maps as well to be able to finalize them, because you have to advance your skills and your weapons, etc., to be able to go back and use the rope arrow, for example, to break through barricades. So yeah.
Are you gonna get the DLC for this, or for the Rise of the Tomb Raider?
I already have.
Oh, nice! So you got all three.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. I got a few bits and pieces. I'm not sure if I've got all of it, but yeah, I've got some down DLC.
The Baba Yaga, the Cold Darkness, Blood Ties, and it's 4. Blood Ties and Lara's Nightmare.
Okay. I've got the Baba Yaga and Cold Darkness. I'm just going through the main game part at the moment. Yeah, I've got the 20-year celebration.
Oh, that's nice. It's very nice.
I've got a few bits and pieces there, and beaten Baba Yaga, which is one of those optional.
Nice. Okay. And I've been playing, for those who are curious, I've been playing the new God of War game.
No, I'm not curious. Are you curious there, Professor?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's wrap up the show.
Oh my god, you guys. Anyway, so I've been playing the new God of War game, and it's a pretty good game. It's been good.
So what have you found good about it?
The combat system, the fact that short synopsis is basically this is Kratos after God of War 3. And this is a few years after the events of God of War 3. He lives in I think it's in Europe, and he has a son named Atreus.
A Greek god living in Europe? No, never.
Oh.
Who would have thought a Greek god would live in Europe? Would you have thought that, Professor?
Never. I swore he was part of some Asian god pantheon.
Oh, mostly North.
That explains the reason why they've got the Omega symbol as part of the logo for God of War. Now I know why they're using Greek characters.
You guys done yet? You got more.
Oh, we could keep going. Do you really want us to?
Nah. But the good things about it, like the cinematics, the graphics are beautiful to look at. The character design, the character models, they're they're really good. They look really realistic to look at, and the dialogue, for example, they're beautifully how they say it in the dialogue, direction, the storytelling, all beautiful.
Now, I remember seeing a presentation when I was at EB Expo last year, and what really stood out to me about this game was was his son.
Yeah.
How does that does that work as well as is that as cool as I think it is, having his son to do finishing moves and stuff?
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. It's very nice to see his son that in the game, assisting you in combat and whatnot.
I have to say, I like the fact that looking at some of the stuff, they've actually moved from the Greek mythology to the Norse mythology. So they've evolved into another area.
And the other thing about this game, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it too much. All I would say is this version of God of War, it's not like the God of War game, that you've played in a long time. It's totally different. That's what I'm going to say about this game. But my only bit of criticism to this game is the repetitive enemies. Just sometimes it gets repetitive and it's very annoying.
Mhm.
That's one of the criticisms of these. But I will say that overall, it's been good to play. Like, I finished playing the main game. Now I'm doing all the side quests, and they're pretty fun too.
Side quest, so it's non-linear.
No, it's not linear anymore. That's the thing I forgot to mention. Yeah, it's not linear. Is so like sometimes you would get like a side quest to fetch this guy's armor or fetch the materials to make a very cool armor and such. But they've made it really good this time around. Like I think they've learned all the lessons from the previous God of War games and made a very good God of War game for this one. Anyways, shall we move to the shoutouts? So shoutouts for this week. We've got the eclipse this week. You guys saw it?
Yep.
Oh, it was beautiful to see that blood moon.
I haven't seen a total lunar eclipse in about 10 years, so enough time for it to be impressive again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they said this was the longest one.
Yeah, the longest one this century.
Yeah. 1 hour and 43 minutes. That's pretty long.
Yeah.
But it was nice to sit there with a cup of tea and.
Yeah. The next one they're saying it'll be in the US on January 21, 2019. So.
Okay.
So they won't miss out entirely. I did see a couple of posts on Reddit today that people stayed up to watch the eclipse and then realized that it's not visible in the US.
Did they phone up 911 to complain? I can't see the lunar eclipse.
Oh my god.
No, it's the moon. That's obviously under Space Force jurisdiction.
See, that's the reason why they need Donald Duck.
Quick, contact the red phone.
Although I have to say, I did do the lunar eclipse viewing in a very Australian manner. I had a cup of tea, some freshly made damper, and some Tim Tams.
Oh,
Nice.
very nice.
Purely because it wasn't going to be visible in America, so I thought I'd make sure it was an Australian event. And there's nothing more Australian than a good bit of tea and some damper and Tim Tam.
Did you include the honey in the damper as well?
No, I had golden syrup.
Damper with honey. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Golden syrup, similar to honey, it's actually sugar.
Yeah.
And that's the
Doesn't
original.
stop it being
It's not-
absolutely amazing.
It makes it a whole lot better
Okay.
because that's what they used to have back in the day. Was that will treacle.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make some damper now. But the other shout out is for all the university graduates this year. Congratulations to
semester.
everyone. Yeah, or this semester.
Yeah, mid-year graduations. Congratulations to everyone on achieving such a stupendous milestone in their academic careers. Got to go watch a couple of friends graduating, and I have to say it's actually quite enjoyable to sit there in the audience and watch them all trooping across the stage and watch all the pomp and ceremony involved.
Yep.
But it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see the next crop of graduates.
Actually, I have to agree. It was beautiful. There were. I was at an education and health graduation ceremony, and there were a lot of nurses, and some of those nurses were extremely attractive.
Bucky, you sleazebag.
Oh yeah.
I didn't say anything else other than they were extremely attractive, and
Uh-huh.
they weren't looking trashy. They were looking quite classy and attractive.
I mean,
And
it's pretty
during the
hard to
back of
look trashy in a graduation gown.
Oh no, a couple of girls actually managed to pull it off. Trust me.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I knew a couple of the girls who were graduating from the nursing and so forth, and yeah, heaven help the first person as a patient that is sleazy with them. They are feisty as well as talented and intelligent. And one of them, I'm not going to say a name, but yeah, she graduated with distinction in nursing and behavioral science. So yeah, she's an overachiever's overachiever.
Nice.
Very nice, very nice. So let's wrap up the show. So any more shout outs from you guys?
No, I
that's
think we've
it
covered
for the
them all.
moment.
Ah, okay. Anyways, thank you for liking the show. You can visit us at That's Not Canon Productions and listen to our old podcast episodes. And feel free to leave a comment, and maybe you can buy yourself some cool Nerds Amalgamated merchandise. You can email us your feedback on our email at nerds.amalgamated@gmail.com. Follow us at our Facebook page at Nerds Amalgamated, and follow us also on Twitter at namalgamated.com. You can also
That's not our Twitter address. Our Twitter address is not namalgamated.com, is it?
at namalgamated, yeah. Capital N amalgamated.
No .com.
Only dot here is the DJ.
Anyways, you can take the show on the go with all your platforms, iTunes and Stitcher. All the stuff we've been talking about will be linked on the show notes below. So from us, see you guys.
See you next week.
Au revoir.